And going to be grabbed by Chase at about the 3. He'll step into the end zone by his lonesome. Touchdown, Tigers! That time on coverage for Alabama was Trayvon Diggs. He saw the football, but then kind of stumbled, fell out of the way, and Jamar Chase just went up, pulled it down. He goes into the end zone untouched. 40-yard attempt for Cade York, well within his range on the year. Kicking from the near side hash. Placement is down, kick is up. It has the leg, and the kick is right through the uprights. Burrow under center, takes the snap, takes the knee, and the LSU Fighting Tigers come to Tuscaloosa. And for the first time in 8 seasons, hand Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide a loss here at Bryant-Denny.
In a dream college football season for the LSU faithful, this was about as good as it got. The Tigers traveled into Tuscaloosa, into Bryant-Denny Stadium on that November Saturday. Orgeron said it in the press conference all week. He felt like they had the better team. When they showed up, they were the better team. LSU was able to beat Alabama. That was the Monday that T-Bob got back into the studio and gave you the 90 seconds of glory of finally shedding the decade worth of ownership out of the Alabama football program, and LSU football was able to capture an enormous win that Saturday. I really don't know where to start. I would start probably with that first touchdown from Burrow to Chase, but really it starts before that because LSU's defense was on the field first, and Tua comes out, and he is rolling, man. Just puts them right down the field, marches them right down the field into the red zone.
It's a little like, here we go again.
Yeah. And it really set up the biggest play that's not talked about, in my opinion, after rewatching this game over and over and over again, is the second down inside of the 10-yard line when Tua comes off of a play action and rolls out to his left, and Rashard Lawrence bats down a pass that would have gone to Najee Harris that looks like he would have been open in the corner of the end zone for a score. On the next play, Tua is shoved out of the pocket. He's running the open field. He looks a little gimpy on the ankle. The ball pops loose. Ray Thornton covers it. 5 plays later, LSU is in the end zone with their explosive offense against Alabama's first-round pick in Diggs, their cornerback, against the next great wide receiver to come out of LSU and Jamar Chase.
And what a statement that was.
Was it a statement?
I mean, after getting shut out 29-0, that was like, so the same way that the first drive, it felt like, oh, here we go again. That feeling immediately evaporated and was taken care of when Burrow threw that touchdown to Chase.
And then defense comes out, gets another stop, and the punter drops the ball. LSU runs up. Caleb Vaughn knocks the punter down, sets up great field position again. Next thing you know, Tigers are up 10-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, just the entire game, man, I've thought about it a lot. First off, the CBS music coming in as football in the football season kind of hangs in peril. That's hitting me a little harder emotionally than I thought it would. Like, I need to hear that this fall. But as far as this game goes, I thought about a lot. I think this is my favorite sporting experience of all time. Like, in a game that I have not been directly involved in. And I know it wasn't at a live stadium. I watched this in the neighborhood with neighbors. But the minute-to-minute emotions that I had, I mean, the high of the Jamar Chase touchdown, and then they return a punt for a touchdown when you got all the momentum because of a face mask that threw him in this like crazy angle. It just and then all of a sudden you explode this huge lead with Patrick Queen right before half, and maybe the best play of the season, that little corner route touchdown to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I wish I could find the audio from the fall where I had Matt Flynn break down that play from like from a quarterback angle. Yes, it was just genius play design. The players knew exactly what to expect. But to have such a first half and the second half comes out and it goes immediately to Alabama's favor, and the push, the pull, the stress, the happiness of each touchdown, it was just I don't know what else makes me feel that kind of emotion in terms of entertainment.
I've been watching LSU football for 30 years that I can recount. I'm 39 years old and still can go back to Tommy Hotson's teams and Harvey Williams and Wendell Davis and on through even some of the 90s and catching back up with Kevin Falk and through those days, and then to the early Saban days with those teams and Jamarcus and Hester and everything that went through. The 90 seconds before halftime in Tuscaloosa with LSU Alabama in 2019 is by far the best single highlights I've ever seen in watching LSU. When the Tigers come down on a third down with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, goes over the top, and anybody that wants to battle me on this, let's debate it. He spikes the football in the referee's face. There's two officials staring at Clyde. One of them is just standing there almost in shock in the sense of, I can't believe LSU's in Tuscaloosa beating Alabama like this. And then 2 plays later, after the field goal, after the extra point, Alabama gets the ball back on first down. Tua rips one down the middle of the field. Patrick Queen makes an incredible interception, flips his hips, starts running north and south for about a 2-second window. He looks like he's going to house that thing. He gets knocked down about the 35. An Alabama piece of trash offensive lineman comes in, late hits Kerry Vincent, 15 more. Burrow and the boys set up first and goal. Yes, they were panicking imploding right then. First and goal, the play that T-Bob just described with the scissors play, hit Clyde in the corner, and the next thing you know, LSU is up 2 scores on the road in Tuscaloosa, beating the hell out of Alabama.
And don't forget, despite the fact that Alabama had a couple fluky scores, which I believe they did. They had the trick play, kind of delay, look to the sideline bomb that they hit on Stingley. They had the face mask that threw him into the punt return. They had the inexcusable bomb at the end that you just can't allow to happen. Despite all that, Alabama never had the ball with a chance to take the lead in the second half.
Yeah, for as much as we talked about the offense and their performance that night, the defense came up big in big spots.
Yeah.
Right? When they had to make plays, they made plays. But the LSU offense that night, Joe Burrow, the wide receivers, the performance by Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
That's the Clyde game, in my opinion. Like, Burrow was great. The receivers are great. But the plays that Clyde Edwards-Helaire made at the end on third downs, when you had to have it, and even at the very end, when they wanted to kneel the ball out, everybody knows you're running the ball, and you go and and that's on the O-line as well, but they go and smash it down their throat. I mean, Clyde, just a heroic individual performance from Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
The third down catch on the sideline late in the game where he scoops it off of his shoestrings and makes a 7-yard run and then pushes ahead for 3 more to get that big first down. There is highlight after highlight after highlight after highlight for LSU in this 2019 Alabama game. And the best part about the game came in the post-game locker room in the celebration when the head coach gave you the feeling of the program, the state, and where they are right now with a great big Roll Tide what F you.
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, it doesn't get better.